All right, and thank you, and welcome to tonight's snowshoeing preseason webinar. We have a couple of items on our agenda, some housekeeping information, winter sports update and reminders, outdoor winter games event registration information, and some questions. My name is Jennifer Trust, and I'm your Training and Unified Sports Director. I will be presenting tonight along with Tom Marine, your Snowshoeing Sports Director. Hoping that Tom is able to get on the call by the time that we get to the questions and information on snowshoeing. Before that, we have a couple of items to review, to go over to make sure you are ready to go for this season. Some of the coaching topics that we've been discussing is the 1-to-4 ratio. As you need to remember, you need to maintain this 1-to-4 ratio at all times on the way to, while you're at and from a competition. This also works in your training. You should have one coach for every 4 athletes. And again, coaches within the 1-to-4 must be a Class A volunteer. The new item for this year is the minimum of 1 certified coach per sport and team. That also includes individual skills for teams. Okay? For teams, if you must have at least 1 certified coach per team. For snowshoeing, since it's considered an individual sport, and the skills must have 1 certified coach per 25 athletes. Okay, for the individual sport as well as the skills. Okay, so by the end of the year for snowshoeing, for every 25 athletes you have, you must have 1 certified coach for them. Let's talk a little bit about the portal. My favorite part of the portal happens to be the training school webinar and more page. On that page, you can sign up for a skills training. So when you see us advertising the training, if you go into your portal, you can sign up for that training. The other item there is the interest for level 1, sorry about that. If you need a training school, go into your webinar, go to the second one, the sports skills training interest, which is track 1. If you go in there, you can tell us what training you need. So for example, if you are looking for a training in snowshoeing, you would go in under the winter section, click on snowshoeing, and then we would be able to get a snowshoeing training for you once we get to that season. Okay, so that's where you tell us what kind of training school you're looking for. Right now, we are scheduling the summer training schools, the spring or summer, and we are using the requests from there to create those training schools. If you have a coach who you think would be excellent for a track 2, this means they're very experienced. You can go into the track 2 section and they can fill out the paperwork for an experienced coach. Once they're done with that paperwork and they hit submit, it goes directly to my inbox. I will review their requests, and from there, we'll make a decision if they are an experienced coach or not. And then we will send them the information on how to complete their certification or the closest training school for them to attend. When you have a coach talking to you about track 2, please think, is this the coach that I would want coaching my athletes and not going through a training school? Okay, that's the way you want to look at it. But that's the area you're going to go in to get to your track 2, to tell us what you want is the track 1, and then to sign up for one of those training schools is the sports sign up. Okay, other important areas, there's a My Calendar, which is under My Information on that tab. You can see all the training schools you sign up for. So if you're not sure if you signed up for a training school or not, you can go in, check the date, see if it's there. If for some reason you're not going to be able to attend, you can also use this option to go in and cancel your attendance at the training school. There's also a section called completed trainings. If you open this up, it'll show you what trainings you have, what sports certifications you have, and it will tell you when they expire. Okay, on the front of your page, this is kind of cool. When you go in the front of the page, if you have something that's in red, it's telling you that it is incomplete. So if your protective behaviors or your concussion training have expired, it will tell you right here on the front of your page. Then you can go into your Class A trainings and you can take whatever training you need. Please note this is where you also find your Fit 5 training is under Class A required trainings. The cool part about this tab is when you click on general orientation, you take general orientation, it automatically goes into your record. There's no lull in the time for your trainings to show up in your database record. Okay, it happens immediately. Okay, another big question we always get is, what are the responsibilities of a head coach? And there are many of them, but these are the few that are probably one of the most important. The ones is being certified in the sport if you are the head coach. You're responsible to supervise all coaches and athletes. Continuing down is the communication network. It's really important that you have a communication plan for your athletes and your coaches and your family members. The responsibility for equipment, transportation, and lodging for events. This might be something that you need to share with someone on your management team, but make sure you are communicating with them that you don't have issues when you arrive at a competition. Distribute a crisis plan, complete all the required paperwork, make sure that all of your athletes have a current and complete medical. Remember, they cannot practice until they do so. I recommend that you have a copy of that medical on site, and when traveling to and from events and during events, make sure you have a copy of that medical for the athlete, whether it's in their credential holder or you're holding them, but there needs to be a medical with them. And that your volunteers are all cleared before their first practice. Again, protective behaviors, general orientation, concussion training, and their background clearance. Okay? We talk a little bit about the assistant coaches. Here's the big thing. Head coaches, delegate to your assistant coaches. There are a lot of things your assistant coaches can do. Again, they need to have protective behaviors, general orientation, concussion training, and a background clearance. Then they can help supervise the athletes and be part of the 1-to-4 ratio. They should be working towards being certified. The goal for every coach should be to be certified. And by the way, that's one of my goals, is to make sure every coach is certified that we have. Remember, the better the coach, the better the athlete. They should do all the duties assigned by the head coach. They should help evaluate the training, evaluate the athletes. They need to arrive on time, stay through the entire practice, and to assist with uniforms, collection of medicals, and taking attendance. They should be covering skills. Whatever you need to do as the head coach, make sure your assistant coaches are busy. The last thing you want to do is have your assistant coaches standing around. They will feel like they are not necessary. And then that number one up there, help supervise the 1-to-4 athletes. You're going to start losing the one in the 1-to-4. So make sure that all assistant coaches are busy during the practice and helping with whatever you can have them help with. Continuing education. On the front page of the website, you'll see the volunteer resources. Oops. You'll see the volunteer resources. Under that is the volunteer center. You'll come to this these boxes, these big black boxes, and you'll see the continuing education option. If you click on here, it'll give you a link to a page full of ideas for continuing ed. Remember that once you are certified, to maintain your certification, you must do a continuing ed once every 3 years. Okay, so please make sure you check out those options. One of those options happens to be our Lunch and Learn series. With the Lunch and Learn series, you can be on them, or you can find them recorded on the continuing education page. You'll see that the series has all types of different items, from how to develop a winning team to how to do your team summaries for team sports, all kinds of information. If you have ideas on those that you would like to see, information you'd like us to do a webinar, please let us know. You can send them to me at jtresp@specialolympicspa.org, and we will work to get your request into a Lunch and Learn that you could use for a continuing education item. Those that have continuing ed, at the end of the presentation, have a link to a quiz, which is done through a Google quiz, and then I automatically go in and provide your continuing education. So that's one way to get continuing education. Now, on your venues, please make sure you're making practice plans. This is often a step that's overlooked. If you don't plan, you can't share something with your assistants. You can't keep your practice organized and on time. It takes a longer period of time to get your drills set up, and this causes frustration with the athletes. Remember, our athletes like consistency, so you want to be able to keep the practice moving, keep everything going, and keep everyone involved. The coach's training and progression plan. This plan was created to increase the knowledge and information and education for our coaches. It starts with the bronze plan, goes to the silver, and to the gold. And if you take a look at this slide, so first you need to be a certified coach, and you need to be certified in at least one sport. In bronze, we add the Fit 5 the Fit 5 activation, personal best performance goals, coaching Special Olympic athletes course. Now, you saw the Fit 5, where to activate it. We'll talk a little more about Fit 5 in a couple of moments. After you complete the bronze information, there's a form to submit, and you can receive your bronze certification credential with your photo on it and lanyard. Well, then you can work on your silver. This includes athlete goal setting, training a minimum of 10 weeks, principle of coaching course, and coaching unified sport. Once you complete all of those items, you can submit for your silver, and your credential now turns obviously to being silver, as well as your lanyard. And then you can work on to gold, and now we're going to add actually first aid and CPR to that course. We're also having practice twice a week for the minimum of 10 weeks. We're taking some advanced sports, or what we call tactics, and you can develop your year-round training and wellness plan for your athletes. When you hit the gold level, you now get a gold credential and lanyard, as well as a lapel pin that is gold to wear to show that you are a gold level coach. Here's the Fit 5, and this is where we talked about signing up for it under that Class A trainings in your VSIS portal. You'll click on there. They'll give you some information. You take a little quiz, and then Chelsea Drobe will send you your information, okay? And basically what we're looking to do is implement Fit 5 into your training. So the basics of the Fit 5 is exercising 5 days a week. We're trying to build endurance, strength, flexibility, and balance. And remember, and actually telling them exercise is fun. And then we want to eat 5 total fruits and vegetables per day. We're talking about healthy weights, healthy foods, perfect proportions. And then we move on to the drinking 5 bottles of water per day. We're trying to keep everybody hydrated. And then actually also picking healthier beverages for the athlete. Okay? And each one of the lessons in this Fit 5 covers one of these items. So within 5 to 10 minutes of every practice, you'll be able to go through the lesson for the day. If you are the coach, you will receive the coach's guide, which is the letter A. You'll receive the index, letter B, and you will receive the fitness cards, letter C. Then the athletes receive this book, which is letter D, and they also get the fitness cards, letter C. So what's nice about this is the Fit 5 Coach's Guide. As when you flip it open, the first page, the athletes are looking at something on the card, and whatever they're looking at, you're giving them information about. And the nice part is you are holding it up for them to look at, and you can just read right off the information on the back page. Okay? Goes over really well. Everyone seems to like it. And I have to tell you, I enjoy working with it, and I hope that coaches who are using it are also. And again, once you take this, you do it every season. This isn't just a one season and done. It's in every season. Okay, we're looking at personal best tracking. Okay, so for personal best tracking, we're looking for goals to focus on. Sorry about that. The goal of it is to focus on goal setting, improving their time and their performance awareness. We want the athletes to know how well they do and can they be better. So you can do performance best tracking. It's tracked also by the paperwork you're submitting for the sectional and the state, right? So personal best scores most likely will not be the entry score that you submit for a competition. It's when you are in competition, the athletes do better than they always do at practice because now they're competing on the line for medals. So please note that personal best will probably happen almost every event, which is exciting for the athletes. But once they have a personal best, the goal is to keep beating their personal best. With the personal best, we talk about the goal setting and tracking of them, okay? We want to be able to share with the athletes, work with them to create the goals. We want to make sure that they are goals that the athlete can achieve, that they shouldn't be too grand for them to meet, okay? Always make sure that you listen to the athlete about their goals, talk to them reasonably about them, and make sure that they're focusing on them. Celebrate those goals, whether they're big or they're small. As you can see, this is one way a coach does it. They have a card for each athlete and what their best score is, okay? And this is what they use to see if every meet, if they will be able to beat that goal that they have on there, their best score, if they want to beat it. Okay? The World Games that were supposed to take place in Sweden have been canceled. I'm sure everybody has heard that by now. They may be canceled in Sweden, but hopefully they will be up and running shortly. We'll be getting information. Of course, staff at Special Olympics is working diligently to find a new location for the games. So hopefully we will hear something in the next couple of weeks. They have not canceled the training camp. They have not canceled it. Okay, so these are the athletes who will be heading out to the training camp. In alpine skiing, we have Brooks Tremblay, Ricky Yutzi, Jenna Novatsky, and Lydia Wirt. For speed skating, we have Bobby Snively. And for cross country, we have Moray Ford. And for snowshoeing, we have Justin Grimley and Lisa Robinson. Those are the slots that we were given. As you can see, they each have an item behind their name. So, for example, speed skating, Lisa Robinson is a level 1, and Justin is, a level 1. And then for snowshoeing, Justin Grimley is a level 3. Okay, so you can see how each clarification behind them is what level they were chosen for. All right. There's Tom.
I am.
Hi, Tom. There you are. All right.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but not as technically or technologically connected as I thought.
You and me both. I was in another room waiting for the presentation for people to join me.
Well, that was
This is Tom Marine. Tom is our Snowshoe Sport Director. So if you have questions and you want to reach Tom, you can email him at snows. Okay, make sure you put the S on snow at SpecialOlympicsPA.org.
Thanks.
All right, Tom, it's all yours.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Okay, great. That was an awful lot of information in a very short period of time for everybody. This program or this presentation will be available, correct, Jen?
It will be, yes. Within the next day or two, it will appear on the SOPA website under Sports Offered Snowshoeing.
So I encourage everybody to take a few minutes and go back and, you know, look at some of the slides that were brought up about the usefulness of this visa system and the how to access it. It's, you know, it's good stuff. All of this is enabling us to become better providers for our athletes and to ultimately to communicate better with each other and grow the program, again, for the benefit of the athletes. So things are changing in the world for everybody. Technology is something we must embrace and figure out, you know, how we can use it. But I happen to believe, in my limited exposure to this visa system, games management, and the growth of our web page, that we're doing wonderful things. So anyway, I'll try to get through as quickly as Jen has, and not to take up any more than your time is necessary. You know, one of the things that we've been promoting here with since I've stepped up as into this sports director's position is unified sports. The obvious and easiest involvement at the get-go is in the relay, and you know, there's 4 members of the team, and we can have 2 unified partners and 2 traditional athletes involved. That's great in concept and everything. You know, we have some other things to involve our unified, or need to do to involve our unified athletes in more meaningful time spent that we are talking about with SOPA. And you know, fundamentally here's the relay for the unified, and it's pretty simple to do, and we all understand that. You know, effectively making it happen is going to take us a little more work. So, next slide, please. Oh, nice job. I haven't seen this yet. Jen did this afternoon. Sue has done some research, as somebody who sits around and searches the web does. Joke. As we're growing our programs, and we go to find new snowshoes, if we need to get new snowshoes, these things here are absolutely simple, really good shoes for our athletes. Those bindings on there are Velcro. The shoes are foam rubber, and they are simple. So there is a web page that is crescentmoonsnowshoes.com, and this Luna running snowshoe is about as simple and game-changing for those of us that struggle and worry about throwing a shoe. So check it out. As money and time necessitates, this will make our lives much easier. Next slide, please.
Wait, can I comment on that? This is Sue Putman.
Hi, Sue.
Of course.
Hi. These snowshoes, they're all just one size, which is 24 inches, and the smallest we're allowed for competition is 20 inches, which is what a lot of us have gone to. But these foam snowshoes are lighter than what we've been using. So I think the 4 inches longer might be okay, but we're still testing some of the stuff. And I also was planning on contacting Crescent Moon directly to see if we could get some kind of a discount for Special Olympics, at least for my team in Somerset. And I'll let you guys, if anybody else is interested too, I'll let you know what's going on with that or what I hear from them, because it could be the ones I bought this past week to raffle off I got them on Amazon for $130. And maybe we can get them for less than that if we contact the company directly if you're looking for 4 or 5 pairs or so. So anybody that's interested, just let Tom know, and I'll let you know how I make out with contacting the company directly. That's all.
Thanks, Sue.
Yeah. And just a comment on these, something near and dear to my heart, they're actually recyclable. So that's very exciting to be able to have a product that is recyclable and won't clog up our world.
Yeah, you guys take a look at the webpage. They may either be recyclable or they may be made of recyclable material already. I don't quite know how to read that, but anywho, all right, let's move on. All right, we'll get to the state games, and things are fast approaching. The 9th through the 11th, we have 105 athletes registered at this point, and we had a meeting last night, games committee, and things are coming along very, very nicely. So just you can read this over, and I think everybody's well aware of this already. Next slide. Tentative or schedule that we're going to be using at the games. We'll figure out where our coaches meeting is going to be. It'll be somewhere in the main lodge on Sunday evening, and if I have my druthers, it'll be earlier than later. Otherwise, we'll meet in the morning at up at the driving range. It says tent at the driving range. That's an addition we have this year. We're going to have a bigger space. Hopefully the cross-country skiers will be there with us also. We'll have room up there. We'll try to set up the same thing like we did before, with areas for each delegation, and have enough chairs, tables, etc. to make that worthwhile. Once again, the shuttles will be running back and forth from the center lobby up to the driving range. Okay, schedule as we see it now. We're going to get going. Not actually, probably about 9 o'clock. There's a competition will start. Get up there and take a look around if you want. We'll try to get the course in as best shape as we possibly can leading up to it. We'll run our competitions Monday morning. Head down to the lodge for ballroom for our lunch. And then we'll have our finals in the relay in the afternoon. Okay, I think I jumped right through the. We are going to do rolling awards, and we're going to do them up at the venue. So we won't have a big cluster at one time down there at the ballroom. Next, please.
Okay, just a couple of other updates before we open it up for questions. There we go. Remember that one of the goals for Special Olympics is to improve our communications from all the way up from the main office down to the assistant coaches. You are more than welcome to join our closed Facebook group. This is a great group where people will get on if they have questions, they want to share ideas, training tips, you'll find out more about these webinars will appear on here. Anything that is changing will be on here. It's a great place to share and provide this email address with all your coaches. Okay, so it's our coach, SOPA Coaches is the name of it. And please feel free to come join us. You have to tell us who you are and what you coach, and then you will be joined into the group. Okay. Did Sue drop off?
No, I'm still here.
Okay. Sue, do you want to talk about your competition?
Yeah, it was supposed to be, we were going to have it this weekend, but they're calling for 60 degrees and rain. Right now we have beautiful snow here in Somerset, but it's not going to last beyond tomorrow. So we rescheduled our Somerset Snowshoe Invitational from the 12th, which was Sunday, to the 26th of January. Registration's at 10 o'clock. If anybody's interested, we're having that on the golf course driving range at Seven Springs. So it's going to be the same courses that we use for winter games. So if anybody's interested in attending, they should. There's no entry fee. Lunch will be provided. Somerset Special Olympics will be covering all the fees for lunch and venue for all athletes and volunteers. So just let me know if anybody wants to come. Right now we have Beaver. I saw Mike's here coming. And,
I'm here too, Miss Sue.
Yeah, I saw it that you were on the Zoom.
That's Mike. This is George.
Oh,
We're both
okay.
watching. We're on one
But
computer.
whatever. Anybody else is welcome to attend. So that's all I have to say about that. And hopefully we'll have some snow in 2 weeks to run around on.
Okay.
Keep praying.
Thanks, Sue. So anytime you have a invitational where you would like to invite other programs, please contact Mike Ermer and let him know, and he will advertise them for you. It's mermer@specialolympicspa.org. Okay, so please, if you have an invitational, let us know about it so we can help other programs get there. At this time, I have unmuted everyone. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
This is Sue Putman. I have one. I always have questions. This is for you, Jen. Okay, so for unified partners in the relay,
yeah.
Can the unified partners run in be on more than one relay team of the same event? You know, say you have 4 athletes on your team and then you decide to have 2 unified relay teams. Can we just have 2 unified partners that are on each relay team? As long as they weren't in the same division?
Normally we say that they can't run in the same distance. So if it's a 2 by,
right,
so
they could be on two different relay teams, 2 different events, but they can't be on 2 teams of the same event.
Right.
Okay. I'm just trying to find more things for them to do.
Right. I understand that completely, but because if you run them the same distance, you could be holding up the event. So if they were in one distance and then the other distance in cross-country skiing or snowshoeing, they could do that, but they can't run in the same event twice. Right.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Something else we need to clarify regarding the relay, and it's there on that slide, but it has to do with combined counties for relay teams. It is not allowed as we stand right now. The relay, if we have counties that want to combine, in other words, they don't have 4 relay team members, and they want to combine to participate in a race, it'll be separate, and there will not be medals awarded for that. Trust me, that's something we're working on and in discussion. We didn't get accomplished this year, which my bad, I guess, is the word we use today. But we'll continue working on this. And the other thing that I'm going to be trying to plead the case for is that the unified relay partners be allowed to potentially be unified partners in other distances that have been individual races. I have noticed they do this in other events and other track events, and we'll have some other stuff. Whoever's got the noise there, would you mind muting your mic there, please? Whoever's taking the trash out or whatever that is, please. Thanks, guys. But anyway, we're going to try to find more things for unified partners to be actively involved in at our winter games. So time goes by very fast. You know, we got a tent this year, so we're happy about that. But you know, there's other things that we need to make it more user friendly. The game's more user friendly. So just wanted to make sure that was clear.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? Well, I thank you very much for joining us tonight. And if you come up with other questions, remember, if they are towards snowshoeing, please email Tom at snow with an S on it, snows@specialolympicspa.org. He will gladly take care of anything that, any question you might have. If it refers to anything from the housekeeping slides, please email me at jtresp@specialolympicspa.org. We are always here to help you, and we appreciate you taking the time to be with us tonight and to work with our athletes.
Thanks,
Have
guys.
a good night, everyone.
Thanks.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.